Will be the book. Will be the book.
Are live. How does it get even better than that? Hi, everybody. Welcome, 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 welcome. We are thrilled to be with you today. It's like a little mini dive into your world as somebody barks excitedly in the background. Hi, Rita. It is good to see you.
Oh, it's good to see you also.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
It's so good to be here and playing with these new tools. We are on, what is it called? StreamYard?
Hi, Ju. Yeah, this is StreamYard. And so it's a kind of a different way of showing up with a little more ease because Facebook made life a little difficult in terms of, how you can stream on their platform. It makes it a little hard. So we usually go with Zoom, but this one's so fun and colorful and easeful, and you can see us in a few different places. And how does it get even better than that? Makes it a lot more fun. So without further ado, I'd like to hop into this topic because it isn't the one most people speak about every day. Yes, hold that up again. So there's that magical book. It's called Living Beyond Distraction. We spent last week reading it out loud and going through the book, kind of just reading it and exploring it amongst ourselves and a few different friends. And it's currently living in the Facebook group of the people who'd like to join us for this telecall. The whole book.
When? Tuesday.
Which starting on Tuesday in exactly a week. Isn't it Tuesday today? Yes.
A week.
Yeah, August 4th. And it is all about being present in your life. And I know you say, well, of course I'm present. I'm right here, right now. But the thing is, how often are we not actually functioning as us? We're functioning as all sorts of histories, all sorts of stories, all sorts of buttons that are being pushed left, right, and center. I don't know if anybody else is a parent around here, but oh boy, do kids know how to press all your buttons. And not just kids, our parents too.
Well, it's an amazing thing. And this book goes through all the distractor implants, which is part of Access Consciousness. And there's 24 of them. And their whole purpose is to get us out of being present, get us out of the space of being able to act, to have a choice, to create. It kind of gets us in this story that it brings up, and we are like a player. We start to become almost like this actor in some other reality that's not really who we are.
So we step into the story of whoever, I don't know, somebody else is, and then we think that that's the way we've got to be. I just popped the name of the book there for anyone to see if they haven't read it. It is absolutely fantastic. And if you've read it and gone, I'm still functioning from all this stuff, from anger, rage, fury, hate, blame, shame, regret, guilt, addictive, perverted, obsessive, I love the perverted ones, obsessive, compulsive points of view, life, death, living reality, fear, doubt, business, relationship, love, sex, jealousy, peace. Have I missed any?
Fear, doubt, business, and relationship. Did you
I got that. Yeah.
You got them all.
All right. So when you know them and when you recognize them well enough to just notice when you're in one of those, you can begin to see it and go, oh, so I can step into this role that somebody's given me, that somebody's assigned me in their kind of perfect storyboard reality, or I can actually go beyond that and see what's going to work for me. And when we begin to ask what's going to create greater for me here, and when we begin to recognize when we're on these autopilot programs, then we're enjoying the gift of presence in our lives. And that's such a different place to be. Hey, Ingrid is with us. Hi, honey. Let me add you in. But hang on, before I add you in, see, this is a new toy for me. I'm gonna see, look at that. Oh,
Oh,
isn't that pretty? Hi, everybody. Wow, hi, Ingrid. So Ingrid is sorry, there were so many different things that are kind of playing and moving and changing that the hours of this have changed. So thank you for being on with us and playing.
yeah. The cool thing, the very interesting thing is that when you realize that these programs, these distractor implants, have been kind of running our lives, and you start to step outside of them, right? Then is when you're truly present with what is possible. And then is when you start to really have no choice in your life because you're not reacting. You're able to take action, which is, I mean, when I've seen that work with some clients that I've worked out with, it has been a totally life changing experience. And I've been wanting to have another one of these series for a while, but I think we have the perfect timing because there's so much more information that has come in recently for how these function in our lives that I'm very, very excited to do this at this time.
I know. And it's exactly, I mean, yeah, they're finding so many different things. They're looking at the automatic programs, at the way that we're kind of the underlying energies beneath how it is that we um, fall into the trap of these distractor implants without even realizing that we're choosing them.
Yeah.
And when we're willing or able to see that and to just take another step and go beyond it. And okay, for anybody who doesn't feel like joining us for the teleclass, you can remember the list of the distractor implants, recognize them, and pock and pod them wherever. Pock and pod meaning the clearing statement.
Yeah.
If you don't know the clearing statement, you can go to accessconsciousness.com, or you could go to theclearingstatement.com and find out more information about it. But you can do that. You already know that. You already have those tools. If you're watching this right now, most likely you've been through at least one Access Consciousness class or have been on some sort of Access Consciousness broadcast or video or telecall or experience of one type or another. So these words aren't totally foreign to you. So you know the concept. The thing is, it's one thing to know it cognitively, and it's another thing to live it, breathe it, and be it. And this is the invitation that we're inviting you to have these, insights, these awarenesses of where it is that you're functioning this way, so that you can begin to marinate in a world of possibilities and choose something that's beyond the autopilot, beyond the automatic responses, beyond the buttons getting pushed, beyond living so reactively to everything around you.
Yes. And, let's take, for example, even like anger. Anger could be different things, and it goes, you'll see it in the book if you've read it or if you choose to read it. So it's a matter of getting you to the place where, getting ourselves to the place where we're present enough to be able to say, what is this, right? Is this a distractor implant? And if so, pock and pod it and see what happens and start doing it until you get a little bit of more clarity.
Yeah. Yes,
Of,
Ingrid, you wanted to say something.
yeah.
Yeah. Hi. Yeah, I wanted to share a little bit of my own experience, so to say, with this. And it's like I've learned about the distractor implants a couple of years ago. I don't know even when. And then I bought the book, I read the book. So I was in control and awareness of all of this. And a couple of things popped up as we were reading through the book. And it's one of the things is I at least personally, I tend to think about some of them like they're the negative ones, like anger and fury and hate. You don't want to have those, right? So then it's kind of easy to go into, oh yeah, that distracts me from whatever I want to create and from my life and this and that. Then there were these other, and that's part of this reality's polarity, right? So the positive, why wouldn't I want to have love or relationship or business, right?
Or life,
But then
living.
Yeah.
life and living. Yeah. But then as you get into like really the clearings, the processes, the energies and all of that, and the awareness of how they actually distract you is like, wow, really, maybe the positive ones are worse than the negative ones. And
Yeah.
it's all quotes, right? It's not that they're positive, negative. It's just like you get distracted with some of them or a few of them. So that was one thing. And I did notice certain things that I was like, well, I'm supposed to know about this, but it keeps popping up. And if you let yourself have those awarenesses and really dive into it, and then you know, okay, I am distracting myself with this thing right now. So then you can ask questions and be more aware of what is this keeping me from choosing and from creating, because I'm just going in circles with whatever I'm choosing at the moment, right?
Yeah. It's interesting that you say that in specific, because that's when you're willing to sit with that stuff that's been keeping you stuck and off. I mean, in my case too, I would be sticking myself with the things that I thought were quote unquote good, the desirable aspects. And so I didn't want to let go of those. So I wouldn't let go of anything. And I would just stay stuck because I wasn't willing to just let go of anything that I've ever, to just like let go and then be present and see what's going on. That vulnerability. So the title of this teleseries is Presence, Potency, and Power. And the reason we have a flame there is because that is your, like, the melting intensity and presence of being that can light up everything and everyone else around you. And yes, it can be something that's intense, and yes, it can be something that's used to warm you, and yes, it can be something that melts and changes the world like a dragon breath or anything like that. It's that willingness to not have to get anything right anymore, and to actually be willing to stay there, present in the face of whatever it is that you're choosing and however life is for you at the moment, and recognize you are greater than whatever is out there, and you have a choice to be able to choose beyond it, to be able to choose the greatness and the gift of you, which I haven't seen too many places or people that actually invite us to be and do that.
Yeah. And the interesting thing here is that as you are present with it, and we love to create that space while we do the call. And as you're present with it, you realize that they're all kind of connected. They're almost like a little structure, which is kind of like the operating system of this kind of reality. And so as we venture through the whole thing, we realize how one of them can get us into another and into another and to another. And when we start to become aware of it, then your whole reality really changes. Your whole reality, you have more presence. I always say, what's on the other side of the distractor implants? And it is your presence, and you realize. When I think of potency in this case, I think of your capacity to create, your
Yeah.
capacity to choose what you really desire to create in your life and actualize it. So
And it's your capacity to allow
Yeah.
different possibilities and energies in as well, is you don't have as many barriers and barricades to life and living. And I don't mean life and living necessarily as the distractor, but I mean life and living in general, like
Yep.
your
Yep.
whole experience of life.
Yeah.
That is one very close by bird.
Mhm. So we invite you. We start on Tuesday. It's at 8 p.m. Florida, 6 p.m. Central America.
Yeah. Or
August 4th.
US Central Time, whichever way you want to look at it.
Whichever way you want to look at it, and come join us and let's go through this journey together into presence, potency, and power.
And power and being willing to be the gift of you. You
Yeah,
know, the play on the word when you're looking at presence, it's you being present. It's the precious present now, as some people refer to it, and it's you being willing to be fully present as you know.
yeah,
No masks, no barriers, no barricades, and really being willing to walk through the world
yeah,
fully.
totally.
And I love that. I
And
love that.
and for those of you who are interested, we're going to have Facebook Live in Spanish also, but Ingrid is going to be translating the whole. Yes,
Yes.
so that is
I'm gonna actually, because I'm not sure like the best way of doing this. I'm learning as I go, and I'm willing. See, that's one of the things about business being a distractor, or perfection being, total judgment and distracting you from all sorts of stuff in business. But it's that busyness, and you get so wrapped up in all sorts of stuff that you forget to be present. So that's kind of funny. But anyway, I'm going to end the broadcast and then we're going to restart the broadcast and do it in Espanol. So you with us?
Woo.
See you in 5 minutos, no, 2 minutos, 1 minuto. I don't know, whatever it is. But
yeah,
I'm so excited. And thank you so much for doing that, Ingrid, because sometimes when I'm in one language, it's harder to stop and then have to figure out what I said and go back, because all three of us are fluent in both English and Spanish. Fluent. It's relative for me. But you know, the idea is that we can communicate in whatever language. Language is not a barrier. And choice
besides
is the
that,
only thing.
Rachel, let's be honest, it's just more fun to have the three of us.
It is. It is. I love Ingrid's laughter, and I love how her nose crinkles like this when she laughs. It's so cool.
You know, my mom always said, "Don't do that with your nose when you smile," and I was like, "I can't help it."
It's you, and it's beautiful. I love that. I love that. It inspires me to laugh more. So that's
And
always
thank you for inviting me to play along. I love it.
my pleasure. So I'm going to end,
Come
but
join
we're
us.
going to hop right back in. Okay? So
Okay.
don't go away.